this is Snow City Tarot, and I want to welcome you back to my channel. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you to all my commenters and subscribers and everybody that's been dedicated to my channel, even though the YouTube algorithm has been squashing me pretty good. I do appreciate your support and your enthusiasm and your motivation that you're trying to send to me. I really do appreciate it, and it does make a world of difference. So for those of you out there who've been supporting me and telling me to keep going despite the odds, I truly appreciate your support, and I can't thank you enough. So today's topic is going to be messages from deceased loved ones. So because this is a more sensitive topic, I want to put a little bit of a disclaimer here. So for those of you that are not ready to hear from someone, like say this is something that's happened really recently, something that's very fresh with you, I wouldn't suggest you go here right away. In fact, if it's that fresh for you, I do encourage you to go find a medium though. They will probably be able to help you a lot better than this pick-a-card reading will. So I encourage you to go and check out some other really good mediums on YouTube. For the rest of you, I just want you to know this is a general reading. And so the way that this works, because we're channeling separate like loved ones and things like that, I just want you to know that we're not talking directly to them. Think of these more like they have left you a message, or they're trying to send you a sign. So it's just indicating where these messages are coming from, but it's not saying that it's necessarily, you know, exactly this loved one, because it is a pick-a-card reading. So, you know, I have to kind of, all the piles are a couple different people with similar themes consolidated into one. So that's just something that you should keep in mind. But the messages are most definitely for you, of course, if they resonate. If not, that's okay. So hopefully one will resonate with you, or more could resonate with you, actually. It just depends on what you're called to. So feel free to pick more than one. So another thing that I want to say is that these are not going to be targeted to whoever's on your mind. They're more targeted to whoever wants to come through. So I'm going to describe to you in the pile who is coming through, and you know, you may know them or you may not. If you don't, you can always pick a different pile. That's okay. So you know, if you're thinking of one person, a different person might be coming through, but I'll be describing them a little bit before I get started, so then you'll know whether or not it's meant for you. So I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you can do this a couple times. And try to keep your mind quiet. And just, you can ask aloud or quietly ask yourself which option will resonate for you. Which one has a message from someone who is trying to contact you. And once you open your eyes, you can pick one of these piles. Once you've picked, you can go down into the timestamps below and click on which option you've selected. And with that said, I'm going to see you in your readings. Hi, Group 1. So, for you guys, I've got the Queen of Cups, the student, or I'm sorry, not the student, just student, energy healing. We've got the North Node, Scorpio, 9th house, fairness, and some Lennies to kind of expand upon the message. So, this person that is coming through is an older female. We've got this Queen of Cups energy here. This person is probably 35 years or older than that. That's going to be the range here. I couldn't see this person being much younger than that. So 40, 50, that's totally fine. This person is most likely a water sign, or somebody who has a water element to them. So we're looking at Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So with this energy here, with student and then healing energy, I'm kind of thinking that this person maybe in their lifetime could have been a caretaker, a nurse, doctor, healer of some kind. This could also be indicating somebody that is, you know, you would probably run to this person to feel better. So this person could have, you know, while it may not have been their profession, they could have been somebody that was just had a healing energy, the person who could make the right chicken soup, the person that could make you feel better on a really, really bad day. It's like if your world felt like it was crumbling down emotionally, you could go to this person and confide in them, and they would, make you feel safe and loved and taken care of. With student here, it says humility and devotion to knowledge, openness, and lifelong learning. This person may have encouraged you to learn, or they could have taken care of you while you were school aged. This could be also indicating that they could have been a teacher as well. So they could have been a teacher or a student themselves even. So this could have been someone that really gets behind education. This person might be someone that really values that and believes that, life is more enriching and more enjoyable so long as you're learning. So this person might have been a teacher or a professor at some point, or they may have just really, really loved school. So what's the message to you? So message here in the North Node in Scorpio in the 9th house. Altogether, this is referencing, well, of course, learning. We'll say it's referencing learning. And it's also referencing 9th house things. So like college, higher education. These could be some topics that you're dealing with right now, and maybe you're not entirely sure what their thoughts on it are or what to do here. But this could be showing law. For some of you that are interested in going to school for law or legal things, or maybe criminal justice, something like that. That could be something that's being highlighted here. This can also talk about publishing, divination, the Navy, travel, and it can talk about, your morality in a way. 9th house to me, I think, is a moral house because it is about philosophy. So your morality might be something that is important to you right now. So with North Node, though, what is the North Node? The North Node is part of the moon. It's also known as Rahu. And this is, a very hungry sign, or a hungry angle, I guess you could say. So whatever Rahu, the North Node, comes in contact with, it usually likes to eat it. It's also known as the dragon's head. So dragon's head, of course, means that it kind of like agitates and empowers whatever it's next to in a chart. So with this, I think it's saying that it's trying to empower you. I think that this person is trying to get you to head towards your destiny in a way, because the North Node in a birth chart can represent where you're headed in life and what lessons you have to learn. So in some ways, this could be also telling you something about yourself. Like you must learn something about yourself. You must learn your own philosophies. Maybe you need to know where you stand on things. Maybe you need to know about your own ethics. This can also talk about consuming knowledge. It can talk about exploring a little bit too. So maybe you need to be exploring divination or exploring law, exploring the world of books and publishing and writing, academics. Really, really important stuff. So now, because Scorpio is here, we could also be talking about, passions. Scorpio is a very passionate, really dedicated sign. When it latches on to something, it does not let go. It's a very obsessive sign, and it's very driven, because even though it's a water sign, it's ruled by Mars. So there's this Martian energy behind it, like Aries. But it's a little bit different because it's a little more emotional. It's a little bit more yin energy because it's a female sign. So, of course, yin meaning, receiving. So it's not quite as aggressively moving forward like the yang energy in an Aries. So with this Scorpio, the Scorpio card here, it's probably telling you to tap into your passions. It might, if you're taking a little bit of a turn towards a side of life that you're not familiar with. I won't say dark, but maybe unknown, because, the occult is an option, is a theme of Scorpio. And the occult doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's evil or bad or scary. I mean, you're here, of course, but maybe you're looking to delve into something that you weren't, that you're not sure you want to delve into. Maybe you're a little bit frightened by it, but this may be telling you that you have the support if you need to head in that direction. Maybe you need to learn a little bit about that. The occult is just things that are occluded, hidden, not seen. And the reason why it's not seen is it's not widely accepted. And that's really all that means, is that people try to bury these things and hide these topics because they're afraid of them, and nobody really understands them because they don't want to understand. So for you, you may want to learn this stuff, but maybe you're a little bit scared, and maybe you're here for the first time ever, and you're like, oh no, this is bad. But just know that there's no harm in learning. And, anything that you pick up in life, you can really just put it back down. You don't have to commit your life to it. And maybe you feel like you might want to if you've got this Scorpio energy. You may feel like once you pick something up, you have to follow it through to completion. But you don't, So don't worry about that. If you want to explore something, explore something. For some of you, if you want to write a book, this could be saying, go towards that destiny. You should write that book. Get to work. That's the message that they want to tell you here. I'm also seeing with these Lenormand cards, now these Lennies, I'm calling them Lennies because Lenormand's really hard to say. These cards talk in a sentence if you're not familiar. So they work as combinations. They can also be read separately, but what I have here is ring, garden, and mountain. And as a sentence, this speaks of a couple different things. One is marriage, because we have the commitment aspect of the ring and then the public aspect of the garden. It can talk about having a common purpose or other people being involved, because the garden could talk about networks. This can also talk about social gatherings and societal problems and things like that, which is kind of why I'm thinking that maybe maybe society keeps you away from this, because this is to clarify what the message they want to say. And I think that there might be some concern about society and what society thinks. And, there could be a lot of concern about what the world thinks. And that is what that could be blocking you or providing a challenge, or not providing, but creating a challenge for you as maybe you feel like you need to be accepted by a certain group in order to feel like you can be fulfilled in life, or but maybe you're not feeling fulfilled, I guess, So with this, there's more to it. It could talk about more people being involved too. So if this happens, it could be involved with other people, and in some cases, maybe this has to do with marriage still. That marriage aspect, but also that legal aspect of the 9th house. Though legal in the 9th house it's not necessarily a divorces thing. If it might be referencing a relationship like a marriage, it's more like a class action lawsuit type of thing, or like a bigger, higher Supreme Court type of issue, human rights. Maybe not necessarily small claims court, but maybe for some of you that could be the case. But because I'm suggesting that because fairness, it says fairness, do what's best for everyone. In some ways, this could be saying, don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Don't worry about what's fair. Sometimes you have to choose. Are you going to be? You have to choose your own self-interest, which doesn't make you selfish. It just means that you are focusing on what's good for you. So there's that message in there too. Is go do what you want to do. Go achieve what you want to achieve. Whatever. These people, anybody who's stopping you from doing something that you want to do, they're not invested in your happiness. They just want you to do something that makes them comfortable. And that's why this person is coming through to tell you to go after your passions. Don't be ashamed of what you love to do. You need to adopt a new philosophy where you don't worry about other people and what they think. So that's the biggest message that I can pull out of this here. So don't feel responsible for anybody else's comfort level. That's their problem. If you make them uncomfortable, screw them, they need to adjust themselves. That's a problem with them. If you're not intentionally trying to make people uncomfortable or intentionally trying to hurt people or get under their skin or anything like that, that's on them, Of course, be self-aware. That's my big thing, is be self-aware. But if you realize that people are like trying to dim your shine, as they say, that's their problem. So that is your reading, group 1. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you found this helpful. Tell me down below if you know this person, and what did they mean to you? Is this a grandmother or a mother, aunt? What's the story behind you and this person? I'd be curious to know. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on to group 2. Hi, group 2. So, who is this person that wants to send you a message, and what message is it? So, we've got the Page of Swords, we have the Servant, we have Creative Expression, we have this card, which is like a advice message. It says, now is not the right time to act. We have the Moon in Libra in the 5th house, and then we have these Lenny cards, and I will read these after that, because they're going to expand upon this one here, or this message down here. So, what I'm looking at here is the Page of Swords. So Page of Swords indicates somebody that is a young woman. This person could have been under the age of 35. I know that's a big range, but we're dealing with quite a lot of different people, and there's only so many cards to indicate, certain types of people, so I have to give you this broad range. Sorry if it's a little vague, but this person is a younger woman under the age of 35. We have pages in general are air signs, but this is especially airy because it's the Page of Swords. So this person could have been a little excuse me, could have been a little chatterbox, or someone who liked to talk, someone who liked to read and communicate with other people. They may have really liked to share ideas with other people and brainstorm. And I think that this person was very connected to other people and would probably kind of push their way into everyone's life through acts of service. So now, on one hand, this person could have also been a server, like a waitress is one way that I could see this with the Servant card. They could have also been someone who did some kind of household cleaning. They could have been someone who worked for a maid service, or maybe a housekeeper or something of that nature. But the Servant says, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. So for me, when I was looking at these when they first came out, I got the impression that somebody may have wanted to spend time with more people, and maybe these people were just not totally aware of what they were wanting out of life and wanting out of family and friends. So maybe this person wasn't always asked to be in, maybe this person wasn't always invited to things, but it was more of an assurance. You knew this person would be there, and that's because they were always the person that was going to be planning something or serving other people, or if it's a party, they were planning it, so of course they're going to be involved. They managed to, it's like they had to find an excuse to constantly be involved in your life or the lives of others, and they felt like they needed an excuse, but they may not have actually needed an excuse. Do you see what I'm saying? They may have felt like they were imposing on people a lot, so they always kind of made a reason to be around people. That's the primary message as to who this person is. I was just getting that sort of vibe, that they kind of had to finagle their social situations to see people, because either people always just assumed that they would always be there, or in some cases, if it's a little bit sadder, maybe they got left out of things. So one moment. Sorry about that. We have a dump truck deciding to drive by right now, and it's very loud. So, anyway, I think that this person, though, liked to write or speak, or maybe they like to do comics or something, or they like to tell stories in some kind of way. It's because we have the Page of Swords, and air signs are usually very analytical and communicative, and they like to write. This person could have been a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, by the way, and if they're not, don't worry about it. There's a lot of other indicators in a chart besides those signs that show a person has this nature. So this is telling me that this person could be, somebody who's a really big reader, somebody who loves to read books or likes to share books with other people, read books to other people. But with creative expression here, it says, your soul longs to express itself creatively. So when I see that, I feel like this could be somebody that is, has projects, a lot of projects. They might be a maker, so that feels like a part of their soul might be missing if they're not making something. So it's really important for them to do that sort of stuff, so they could have been really passionate about that. So what's the message that they want to tell you? We have Moon in Libra in the 5th house. What does this mean? Well, interestingly, we have 3 cards here that are all relating to relationships in some way, shape, or form. We have the Moon, which is your emotional body. That is you. It's also the physical body in Hellenistic astrology, but its symbolism is like fortune and fate, your emotional self and your physical body. It can represent your home life and your early childhood and your mother. So in some ways, maybe this person could have been a mother of yours. I mean, they're under the age of 35, so it's very possible. They could have, when you last saw them, they were under the age of 35. So Libra is about relationships, relating to other people, connections, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic connections, but it very well could be here with this 5th house, because this is the house of romance and love and pleasure and enjoyable things. So really kind of looks like it's strongly indicating your very close, intimate partnerships, whether that is an intimate friend or a love partner or something like that. But it's very close. And so they kind of want you to maybe emotionally invest yourself in these topics. Maybe you need to maybe they might be saying that you should kind of be a better partner here to whoever it is that is on your mind. Not saying that you're bad, but if you're thinking like, oh man, I'm not really living up to everything I could be for this person, they might be kind of backing that and saying like, yeah, you might need to like improve here or there, or maybe try this or that to improve the situation with your partner or improve the situation in your love life. It could be saying that you need to kind of put a little bit more care into that as well. Now, if you're looking for somebody, they could be making commentary on that and saying that you need to maybe appreciate yourself, put a little love towards yourself, enjoy your life, and kind of indulge in things with this 5th house in order to draw in more good things. Because it's like if you don't treat yourself and you don't do anything nice for yourself and you just treat your soul and your body like a workhorse, you're not going to be attracting very great, really great energy, because you're probably really burned out. So it's like you won't be shining like a beacon because you're kind of letting your shine get dimmed by like, what's the word? It's just like the light switch isn't on all the way, so it's kind of flickering. It's like, so like a dying fluorescent bulb. So yeah, I think it's saying that you probably need to put a little bit more love into the things that you do. And I feel like if this person was here, they'd be there like massaging your feet, being like, hey, you got this. I think this person would have been really there for you, on days that you were really bummed out, especially about this topic. I think that they would have been there for you to help you through things. So you really need to nurture your relationships, and maybe your relationship to yourself, your relationship to pleasure, your relationship to other people. So you really need to work on those connections. And sometimes this could be saying that, you need to take a break and just give this stuff to yourself. Because I'm seeing with this, now is not the right time to act. I really think that this is telling you to chill out. They're saying don't do anything right now. Just take a break. You're burnt out. If you're feeling, energetically low right now, it's probably because you've overcommitted to something and you really need to take a break. So I have here kind of like a clarifier here with the Lenormand cards. We have the ring, the dog, and then the sun. So you guys probably already know this, but you read these like a sentence. So dog and ring is like a committed partner. This is somebody that you could be married to. This could be, like I said, like a spouse, or this could be a really good friend, a best friend. And the sun is about, confidence and joy and happiness and warmth and success. So it could be saying take joy in your friendships, your best friendships. Maybe you need to give a little bit of love and attention to that friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time, but you know that you should. So this could be telling you that you need to reach out to somebody and just be like, hey, how you doing? And if you're thinking about someone on your mind and you're like, is it this person they're talking about? That's probably the case. It's something where you feel, you could have been toying with the idea of reconnecting with a friend of yours. But maybe you're in the mindset of like, oh my God, that'd be so weird if I came back after like 5 years and just picked up where we left off. But you can. And I think this is saying you shouldn't be so worried about that. I think it's so silly if when people want to talk to another person, and it's not like you'd be asking them for anything. You just want to connect with them, but you don't because you think it would be weird. I don't see the point of that. Just say hi. We're only on this earth for so long. Every moment that you hesitate is a moment lost. So this is probably telling you to not hesitate, not wait for tomorrow to take care of these social issues or take care of yourself. You need to do things today. And you're in your greatest power today, not in the future, not in the past. You have the most power to do anything with your life right now. So this is something that you should think about. So this person is really coming through with the message of relax, don't overdo it, realize that you need to slow down, and now's not the time to act. This could mean any number of things for you guys, but the way I'm reading it, it looks like this person is just telling you that you need a break. So it's time to take a break, go on vacation. In fact, this is also a card that could show vacation. So, maybe you need to go on vacation with your spouse or go on vacation with a friend. So, yeah, that's the message for you, group 2. Please like, comment, subscribe. I was going to say like, shaman. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is up with my speech today. It was like this yesterday too. Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you know this person, this Page of Swords, please tell me about it. How do you know this person? Who are they? Is this somebody that you really connect with? What's your story with them? If you're willing to share it, I'd love to read it. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching group 2. I'm going to move on to group 3. Hi, group 3. So, who is here to give you a message from the other side? So, the cards you have today are the Page of Cups, the Advocate, Family, Mars, Cancer, and the 8th house, and Make Magic, and these Lenormand cards, which I will go into a little bit later. So, who are we looking at? What's the profile of this person? So, when this person passed, they could have been under the age of 35. Because we have a page represents women. So this could have been a young woman under the age of 35, so not quite in her queen energy yet. And we have Advocate. And Advocate says, inspires you to put compassion into action. So this person, I think, could have been a big advocate for other people. She might have liked to stand up for other people and take care of other people. Sometimes we are advocates for people in our families, but this could be someone who advocates for human rights or stands up for justice or has a higher feels like they have a higher calling to protect others. So you could be looking at something, maybe this person had something to do with the legal system, or they could have been somebody that was like a, what is it called? A social worker, or like a counselor, or somebody that was there to help other people. If not helping people within the family, because I do have the family card here, and it says, loving your friends and family is central to your life purpose. So this person could have been all about family. And it's interesting because I have Cancer here, which is that sort of maternal family card. And we also have some water energy over here too. So this person could have had a little bit of water in their chart. So we're looking at Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. So there could have been just a tad there. But with the family card, I'm thinking that this person could have lived and breathed and like did everything for family. Maybe family was, the most important thing in their life. Maybe this person was a Cancer. But family was super, super important to this person. They might have been the type that had on their desk like a picture of every family member ever, and every family member that they've ever met, that type of person has pictures about them and all over their house. They could have been really into ancestry, so I think you probably would know them most as someone who is really interested in family, maybe having their own family, starting a family, having children, getting married. That might have been their life's goal for some of them. This can also indicate this person is a family member as well. So the next part here is the message that we're going to be receiving. So we have Mars in Cancer in the 8th house. So this is interesting because Mars is a very masculine sign. It is, it's the, or not masculine sign, masculine planet. It is a go-getter. It goes out and it does, it acts. It can represent sharp items. It can represent blood. It can represent fighting. It can represent death. And with the 8th house here as well, and the 4th house being referenced with Cancer, and the coffin, I'm getting some witchy vibes here, guys. For those of you that are people that practice that, I'm getting some witchy vibes here. So maybe this is someone that you would study with, or practice more occultish type of things with. You may not be a witch or anything like that, but you might have shared this interest possibly. But Mars, I feel like this could be a reference to the death of this person itself. So this could be something that is still with you today. I mean, everybody really doesn't ever heal from someone passing away. There's always that void. But this is saying that this might be more active in you, this concern or focus or fascination with death. So with Cancer, though, this is talking about emotions as well. So there's a lot of emotions here. We have anger. We have, potentially sadness here. So, they may want you to work out how you're feeling still. They may think that you have not yet healed from their passing, I think. And that is what they're here to kind of tell you. Because it was traumatic. When you lose someone, it's always traumatic. And this person might be concerned about that aspect of you with the 8th house being traumatic. So, they might see that you have some kind of small or large amount of trauma over their passing. And when I see this, I also have the moon. It was the coffin, the heart, and then the moon. Altogether, these are also referencing emotions and death. So it's definitely a message that they want to send you regarding, their passing. So altogether, this can talk about, the coffin and heart is talking about not yet being able to let go of someone who is passed. this can talk about grief. This can talk about your love life. If maybe that resonates with you, this could be saying that there's a loss of your love within your love life. This can also saying, you could be attached to someone that is gone. And with the rest of this theme here, I kind of feel like this is the case. So, they may be seeing that you're stuck in a certain time frame and they've kind of moved on because they're a spirit, that they are no longer shackled to their physical body. So they get to go and travel and do what they will and reincarnate and do whatever it is that they wish to do. But you're still here in the physical realm, hanging on to their physical presence, even though it's not here. And so they kind of want to draw attention to that and say, hey, I'm here, but I'm not here, and even though I'm not here, it doesn't mean I'm, gone forever. And it also means that you still have to live your life. That's the responsibility we have here on earth, is to be alive and live our lives. And maybe this is difficult for you to do, this basic thing for humans to do on earth. It may become difficult because you're too tied to death, too tied to morbid things, and too tied to like crisis and trauma and sadness. This is also saying with the heart and then the moon is that you may have a hope that something is not over altogether, a hope that something is not over, or an emotional, attachment still to endings. Sometimes we relive an ending over and over and over again, and it's like we can probably make peace with other aspects, like not removing, but having someone leave your life. But for some reason, we do sometimes stay stuck on one aspect of that, and sometimes it's the most traumatic part. Like I lost my job, right? No, I left my job, but I remember just replaying over and over in my head, like how traumatic it felt to leave my job so suddenly. And, and that kind of haunted me for, months. So I know that my example is not the same, but I noticed that sometimes we do hang on to the things that are more traumatizing, and it's not necessarily good for us. It's kind of like torture. We kind of torture ourselves in that way. So another thing that this is saying is that you may be romanticizing the pain or romanticizing the difficulty of it. And it's not like you're doing it on purpose or anything like that, but you may be kind of like making it your identity, someone who experiences pain or trauma or crisis. You make it your identity, and that's not who you are, because your personality and who you are isn't made of, they influence you, but it is not who you are. You are not your trauma. You are influenced by trauma, but you are not your trauma. You are not, the morbid, sad things that happen to you. And it's possible that if you're in this state of, I guess it's maudlin is, I think, the name that it's called, where you kind of just very morbid or stuck on the sadness, it may be becoming so normal to you to be this sad that it's kind of taking you down an unhealthy path. So with that, the last I have here is Make Magic, which is a weird little card to get here, especially with all this kind of, sad energy. And Make Magic, I was thinking, like, if you guys are that type, you may literally need to do some kind of ritual for this person, or for yourself, to help yourself. If you don't do that, I think that this card could definitely indicate making, some kind of ritual behavior to honor this person or take care of this person's memory. Not take care of the memory of their death, but take care of the memory of their life, I think would be more appropriate here. And they would probably want you to think of them that way as well. Because when you think about it, that moment when they cross over, that's not happening to them. I mean, it's happening to them, but it's like, after that point, they're not really attached to that moment when they leave. They probably have the memory of their life coming into the world and living through their life. But that moment where they kind of log out is like that's probably the least, difficult thing, I guess you could say, because they just kind of go. I don't know if I'm describing this in the right way. I'm trying to be sensitive as well because, because of the nature of things. But if I'm putting my foot in my mouth, I apologize. But so this could be saying that you need to pray or do some kind of ritualistic service to this person. For some of you, if you're pagans, do a pagan ritual. Or for those of you who are just spellcasters or people that like to do, magic, this might be something that's saying that you need to do something for this person or do it for yourself. I think, honestly, this person wants you to know that they're fine and that they're more concerned about you because you have taken it very difficult. You've taken it really hard. They're passing. They've been taking that really hard. And honestly, it probably hurts them a little to see that you are not living your life because of them, because that's, if they loved you in life, they would have hated for you to do that. So I think that this is the main message that they want you to know, is it's okay to let go or work on towards letting go of this person, because they're always going to be there, but you don't need to hang on to their death, is what they're saying. You can hang on to their life and their memory, but you really shouldn't be hanging on to their death. So that's the main message I think that they want you to send, or want to send to you. So anyway, that is your message, group 3. If you have any insights here, let me know down in the comment section. If you know who this is, if this is anything that you would want to share, I'm curious to read about it. If not, it's all right. I'm not going to be upset. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to move on to pile 4. Hi, group 4. This is your reading. So group 4. Who is this person? So I'm going to go through the cards real quick. We've got the King of Swords. It says child wounded, and child wounded says awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. And so we have that, and then we've got support, and it says your life purpose fully supports you. And then we have Mercury in Virgo in the 3rd house. We have these. I'll come back to these later. And then for these, we have retreat. It's okay to take a breather and have courage. So what does this mean? Who is this person? Well, I think that this person was a very strong figure in your life. They may have been very harsh, maybe could have been a stoic person. I think a lot of the times you might not have totally understood what they were trying to get at with you, maybe a lot of the time. Because I think that this person saw you as, like, I feel like this person was very disciplined and would discipline you, perhaps, in a way that you probably maybe resented this person, honestly. I think that this person could have been very strong-willed and very my way is the highway. Or my way or the highway. And I get the sense that maybe this relationship was a little bit contentious, maybe. Not hateful. I don't think that you were happy that this person passed or anything like that. But it looks like this person could have been someone who really busted your ass, made you bust your ass. Because the King of Swords is very clinical, very cold. He's got a very analytical mind, and he's an air sign. So he's represented by Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. I can't say which one exactly that would be. However, I will note that this entire reading is sopping, like totally saturated with Mercury energy. So even if this person wasn't Aquarius, I mean, they could have been. So that's somebody born in... I'm getting it's an Aquarius in my mind here, just because Aquarius can be kind of distant like that. But they see things, I think, for the long run. I think that they see... and I feel like this person could see that you could do a lot of good, or you can do a lot of good in life. And I think that maybe that was most of the reason why they were so difficult to probably be with you or be around you, because they may have been so excited to have you in their life that they wanted to make sure that you were you'd live up to what they had hoped for you. So this person may have not ever expressed this to you, expressed that they had any kind of hope in you. They could have just maybe only shared their disappointment, because they know that by showing disappointment, negative reinforcement could create improvements and change. This person had a system. I don't think that they were nearly as cold as you might see with the King of Swords here, but I don't know if this was intentional, the way that they treated you, or they were just treating you in a way that they knew would get results. So it's very cold. However, I do think that this person had a very vested interest in your success and your education. This person themselves might be highly educated as well. These are scientists. These are lawyers. They are doctors. They're surgeons. They're generals, because the swords usually indicate sharp instruments or weapons. So this person could have been, somebody who had a gun, so like, or held a gun for work, or held a knife for work. So they took themselves very seriously. And I think that this person also probably became, pretty high up in whatever area they were specialized in. And they wanted you to do the same, probably. So let's see. Yeah. So opens the learning path of forgiveness, desire to serve other. Yeah, and I think this was a parent. I think this was like your parent or your grandparent, some very authoritative male figure. And, if, of course, you're like, who is this person? This person's never been in my life. You can always go and check the other piles that you're drawn to. But with the support here also, and look at that. We've got the caduceus. Mercury carries, I can't remember. Mercury carries the caduceus. I think he does carry the caduceus. Sorry. My mind is gathering information from all these things that I've read. But yeah, Mercury carries that as well. And it's about intelligence. It's about speed, accuracy, learning. And so when I see this support here, I think this person is probably saying that you are supported in your educational pursuits. And this staff here, though, that's like medical. So there's stuff like that here. So, science, things like that might be important. And maybe that's something that they pushed on you. Maybe you wanted to go and be a dancer or some kind of artist, and this person was not that type of person, and maybe you had to go and become something else or something more practical. This person's practical mind might have kind of stifled you, maybe just a little bit, but I think you still have a genuine interest in these things because from their perspective, they're telling you what to do now, and they have a greater view of things better than they did before. So I think that, I'm seeing that you probably still do have an interest in these things, even though you may have been forced into them. You might have been interested in them. You might have grown a real appreciation. So maybe you want to teach. Maybe you want to go and get higher education. You might want to go and just learn as much as you can. Because, like, this entire reading is saturated with learning and truth and teaching. So if you're looking for the go-ahead to teach something, this is your sign. But let me go into this a little bit more here. So we got Mercury in Virgo in the third house. Mercury rules Virgo. The third house is the house where Gemini usually falls in in the zodiac. It's usually third when it's not aspected, yada, yada. Like when you don't know when the ascendant is, it's the third house. So it's interesting because it's saying that because the way I pulled this out is this was going to be the action, what about, and where. So the action is Mercury. So this is telling you to analyze. It's telling you to learn. Analyze, learn, write, educate. Educate yourself in an area of service, Virgo. Now, Virgo is also very health-oriented, service-oriented. It is very hardworking, discriminate. It's also really good with methods, like creating methods. So this could be telling you to discover a new method, discover a new method to speaking to people, discover a new method to communicate, to learn. This could be saying that you need to learn about, learn about a trade for health. This could be saying, like, maybe go to trade school for like nursing or nurse's aid or something like that. Or you could be, or it could be saying that you may need to study harder. If you're already there, it might be telling you to study harder or write something or publish something regarding some kind of scientific topic. Or sometimes, if this is indeed, well, I was saying this guy was probably military or police or something. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be, but I think they're encouraging you to learn something. And with these cards here, because we've got key, book, and child. And key, book, and child together, we're talking about like educating younger people, learning a new thing, finding the truth, learning the truth, studying something that might be a secret, because the book is closed. So these are the book holds truth, and when it's closed, it could be saying that the truth is hidden. So they might be telling you that you need to investigate or look into things. They might want you to maybe understand yourself better too. Be more open-minded, to understand, to know, maybe to teach someone specific or train in a new field or something of that nature. Because there's just a lot of Mercury energy here. When I drew these cards, I was like, what the heck? But they want you to connect with others, and because with the third house, we do talk about making connections with others. And this can talk about your siblings too. So maybe for some of you, local neighborhood, your siblings, trade schools, things like that could be involved as well. This can also indicate working like offices as well, if maybe that is something that's going to ring a bell for you. But the way I see this, it just really looks like they want you to go to school, or they want you to continue school, or they want you to study a certain topic, or they want you to teach other people. Regardless, they want you to keep using your mind. If you're doing that now, keep doing it. You're doing a great job. But I think that they want you to be in service to others, though, because Virgo is about all that. Virgo is, they're the type that are comfortable kind of doing the day in, day out, monotonous sort of stuff. So, you might be interested in doing day in, day out, monotonous stuff. Maybe not interested, but comfortable with that. So, this could be doing service for others in a really maybe thankless setting, sadly. and maybe that's why you're trying to avoid it, because the work is thankless, maybe. But these are just the themes that I'm seeing here. So this person wants you to do these things. If you were thinking about them, these are your sign. This is your sign. And it says retreat. It's okay to take a breather and have courage. So again, it's sort of like giving you that encouragement that if you want to do this, it's okay, have courage, you'll be fine. If you have to take a break from something else, it's saying it's all right. Just retreat, take a breather. You'll be okay. It might be telling you, and that's another thing here that was sort of interesting, is that breathing and air is really prominent here, because we've got the ruler of Gemini, we've got the Gemini house, we've got the King of Swords, we've got wings here, and you've got Mercury's staff, and even though Virgo's an earth sign, it's still ruled by Mercury. So there's just a lot of like air and breathing and lungs and stuff like that here. So I don't know if air or respiration or breathing is important to you. But that could be some kind of sign as well. Just the sheer amount of air in this is crazy. Anyway, though, that's all I got for you, group. For if you know this person, please let me know the story behind this if you feel comfortable with it. I would love to hear about it in the comments. I do read my comments, so and I hopefully will respond to them, because I try. Anyway, though, I want to thank you for watching, and if you could like, comment, or subscribe, I would really appreciate that. It does help the channel grow. So I'll be moving on to group 5. Hi, group 5. So who's trying to give you a message from the other side? So this person I'll read the cards first here. So I've got King of Pentacles, I've got I've got Rescuer, I've got Light and Love, I've got the South Node in Capricorn in the 2nd house, and I've got care for friends and family and pets, and take care of yourself first, and then some cards here I'll go over later. So to start, we'll say that you've got the King of Pentacles. So this person is an earth sign. They could be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. We have heavy earth energy coming through here with the 2nd house and Capricorn here. 2nd house is usually associated with Taurus, which is more earth energy. And with this King of Pentacles here, I'm just getting this person is very interested in your security, and they were in life and they are now. So this person is going to be older, a man, I was going to say a man, older man, age 35 and up. Could be older than that, though, when they passed. So this person, I got a lot of warm fuzzies when I read this. Not gonna lie, it just sounds really sweet. This person, oh man, he's like, okay, this is the person that was probably your rock, the person that you would go to whenever you needed pretty much anything. This person was very, very selfless and was there to save the day. Just like this says, Rescuer. Let me read that. It says, provide strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. And I think that's totally true with this person. I think that they were quite selfless. I think this is the type of person that would give you his shirt off of his back to make sure that you were okay, clothed, fed, taken care of, loved. This person, I honestly think that their job in life, because I see light and love, right? It says your purpose is to bring divine healing, light, and love to this world. When I see this, I think that this person didn't really, they had a job, but their career was providing for you, or providing for family. This person must be like an uncle, a grandfather, or a father figure, somebody related like that. You don't have to be, blood related, but they could have taken care of you in that way. And I think this person was very charitable and worked very, very hard in their life to give you the things that you needed. And I don't think that they were the type that would be like, I work so hard for you and you do nothing and blah, blah, blah. This person may have never once even if you were giving them trouble. I don't think this person ever once said that you didn't deserve those things, or that they probably never, tried to guilt you with the things that they gave you. So I could just say that this person is incredibly good in nature. Like, they have a good heart. This is like the highest type of person. This is like the highest level of love that you can get, is this selflessness that you can give to other people and not expect anything back. This person could probably love you through all your faults, no matter who you ended up being, or mistakes that you made. I think this person loved you through all of that. It was so strange because when I was reading this one, I got 2 messages that were sort of like out of place in my mind, and that's kind of when I think that maybe this is an actual channeling for some of you. But it says that you were this person's labor of love, and you were his greatest creation. And that was a very, very, it's not specific, but it just seemed out of place in my mind while I was reading this. So that's meant for someone out there. So I hope that means something to you. But this person sees you as his greatest creation. It's a really nice feeling when I was reading these cards. It was so strange. And I was compelled to get a fifth pile. I normally do 4. So when I pulled this one, I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I should do a 5th. And then I got this message, and I was like, okay, this was probably someone coming and knocking on my door and saying, hey, can you include me? So, the message. What's the message besides that lovely message that I just got there? But it's here within the South Node in Capricorn in the 2nd house. So what this means is, with the South Node, this is a more, it's a less active part of not active, but not less active, but it's about the past, and it's about things that you're comfortable with. And the nature of the South and the North Node are usually, they're usually like, the North Node is where you're headed, and the South Node is where you're coming from. It doesn't mean that you leave it behind completely. You integrate the two, but the South Node is the easy part of that, because it's usually the things you're already comfortable with. So when we see that, we're thinking that you're to, kind of relax in some area here. It talks about, especially here with these tags here, it says, remember, reconsider, now's not the time. There will not be anxiety about or trouble. These are kind of keywords here. With the South Node. And so these could be some things that they are trying to tell you, because this was supposed to be the action card. These are the things they want you to do. So this person may want you to reconsider or remember something. And with Capricorn, this is probably your energy here, going at it full bore at something and not stopping, and maybe wearing yourself out. Because the 2nd house shows that you are also trying to work like this person does, maybe to provide for your own family, but maybe they're watching you do the same exact thing they did, and they don't mind that. They probably respect that, because that's how they chose to live their lives, but they're watching you do it, and maybe you are overdoing it. Capricorn is a sign that is intense. It doesn't stop. It just goes. It doesn't care how steep the mountain is. It will climb it. I mean, have you ever seen videos of those goats that can climb a vertical wall with just little tiny hooves? They don't even have thumbs. They don't even have opposable thumbs, and they're able to climb up a vertical wall. And it's like they don't even care. If you see them, they look like they don't have a thought in their head. Probably because they're a goat. But they just go. They just pursue. They just endure. And that's what the sign of Capricorn is about, is enduring things like that, because they need to be done. It's a sign that is very focused on duty. Things need to be done. and it is very focused on the day-to-day as well. Earth signs are very practical. They're very focused on that security, money. They're not so, they may not value other aspects of life, even though they should. They might be too focused on that end goal to, take in the scenery or sit and think about something that isn't work. These people, he may be requesting you to philosophize a little bit. Use your mind for something else. Take a little break. Because the second house, we see this acquisition of things, acquisition of money. It's a patient. It says patiently. So it's patient signs or patient indicators of your personal patience. And the thing is, though, the second house is like your belief systems, right? Your value systems. And we usually get those from our ancestors, the people who came before us. The second house can also represent your ancestors. So when I see this person here, they're probably like, yes, you're doing everything I did. I'm so proud of you. But seriously, you need to take a step back, because you're like, you could be too sacrificial. You could be too giving. Maybe this person, while from your standpoint was very much like this, and you're like, oh my God, this person was the pinnacle of people. I wanted to be them. This could have been, they may be saying like, hey, there's some aspects of my amazingness that I did not tell you about, which was the burnout, the long nights, the maybe the feeling of not getting anywhere, feelings of failure, especially if this person is raising and nurturing children. They might be like quietly just taking in all the abuse that you get from your kids and just kind of like internalizing it and just kind of like, oh, it's for a reason. But, they may have experienced that burnout as well. And that could be what they're kind of reminding you of, like, hey, it's not as easy as I made it look. So they're trying to tell you that maybe you need to kind of slow down just a little bit. And that's what's interesting, because the first card that came out for this one was take care of yourself first. So I feel like there is an aspect of you that is doing the exact same thing that this person was doing. Saving the day, not buying anything for yourself. Maybe you spend all your money on the people that need it, and you don't spend any of it on yourself. And that's not necessarily great financial health for yourself, because it's like, at that point, it's like it's like slavery, because you're giving your money away to all these other things and not even enjoying the fruits of your own labor. So that's, I think, one thing that they want you to know. So the other one was care for family and friends. Now, I think that this was coming out because it says that's what you're doing, is caring for family and friends. And this message is sort of like, you need to care for yourself first. And that's like primarily what they want you to know. Let me pull out, and this is actually, it's crazy how these things come out, because this is almost the exact same message. Because we've got Star, House, and Fox. House and Fox is like somebody that works within the house. This is also someone who needs to take care of themselves. And if you have hopes and aspirations, you need to focus on those too. You are still a person who has needs of self-actualization. Like you're meeting the lower level of Maslow's hierarchy there, but you're not getting beyond that. Maybe because you just don't think about it. You may have the means, you have everything taken care of, but it's like how to describe this? Like your life is probably fine. Like not fine, but like nothing goes wrong. But like you're not at the stage where you need to worry about shelter, food, and clothing and the basic necessities like security. But you dwell in that area, giving it to other people. So you may have the ability to reach the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs and find self-actualization. You may actually have all of these things, but you just don't do it. You just kind of stay there at the bottom level of the pyramid and giving out security and safety and food to everyone else. And so it's like you're missing out on a part of your life by being too responsible and too caring. Not to say that you shouldn't be do these things, because obviously with the way that this person was, you probably want to you know, this was great for you. You probably absolutely loved this person and the way that they raised you, and you're doing it yourself. So it's not a bad thing. It does a great job. But you have to think about yourself. So another message in here is talking about trust, because the star can represent that sort of like faith, trust, a little bit of spirituality here, your hope. And another thing that we can see a message out of this is, you know, it's more responsible to take care of yourself first, obviously, so you can do more. But it also talks about like hope and church and dreams. Weirdly, it talks about trusting in your family and your faith and your trust in church or what group you might have, because we have a spiritual building here with house and stars. So it could be saying have hope for your future, have hope for your home or your house, or you know, there's some kind of message here about family that they want you to keep your hope up with that, but don't overextend, you know. Or maybe this altogether could be saying, you know, don't make the success of your children and your family an extension of who you are, because you're removing that element of self from yourself. You know, like you're becoming you're letting your family and the people that you take care of become your whole identity, and that might not be giving you enough time to like get your own personal spiritual, you know, personal satisfaction and development out of your life. So I hope you know what I'm trying to say here, because I'm having a difficult time conveying it. I have the idea, but I think that makes sense. But yeah, if you guys got questions, you can comment down below and I'll try to answer them. But that's the message that there is for you for group 5. I want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked your reading. I would really appreciate to hear more about this. Who is this person? How do you know them? If you're willing to share, I'm willing to read, and I would love to read about it, actually. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.